Are you not getting as strong benefits of NoFap as some people are reporting out there? Well, let's jump in and take a look at 7 possible reasons for this. Number 1, you're using some form of drugs. Yes, if you're frequently hammering your dopamine system by drinking a lot of alcohol or smoking weed, then don't expect NoFap to be giving you the strongest of benefits. Obviously, the same goes for other heavy drugs as well. And the reason for this is simple. The drugs may be down-regulating your dopamine receptors to such a degree that it can override any potential up-regulation or benefits NoFap could otherwise bring about. Reason number 2, you don't have any goals you're working on besides just quitting porn. This is a big one that I see guys doing wrong all the time. Even if you don't know what to do, just pick something as a goal and then work on that. Just trust me on this. We need something to work towards as well, and not just work on stuff we should avoid. Reason number 3, you're spending too much time on video games. Let's face it, today's video games are also very stimulating for your brain's reward system, since they are artificially raising your dopamine at least a bit. Now, in moderation, video games are not bad for you. In fact, they can teach you problem solving as well as be a good source of recreation. But it is definitely possible to be overdoing it. So, just how much is too much? Well, quite frankly, we do not know. However, if I personally was into video games, I would set a daily max limit of maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. Number 3. You're spending too much time doom scrolling and scrolling on social media. Yes, this is a bit related to the previous point, so we don't dive deeper into this one. Other than that, I say many people spend 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day on social media, and this is way too much given the fact that social media is constantly pinging you with small dopamine hits. A 2-hour limit would be a good rule to have here as well. This according to the neuroscientist Andrew Huberman. Now, I'm not saying you won't experience benefits if you go about 2 hours a day, but just to make sure you don't blast your brain too much, it's a good healthy limit to try to keep. Reason number 4. Maybe your porn use didn't affect you back when you were using it. Yeah, maybe your porn use was just so modest that it didn't affect your brain that much. Maybe you belong to the lucky group of people who didn't get negatively affected. And then when you went on a NoFap journey, you didn't really notice that much of a difference. In other words, maybe you are already running on all cylinders and doing well in terms of your dopamine health. Now, I know I may be upsetting some of the most dogmatic NoFappers by saying that, but it is a possibility. And to upset you even further, not everyone will experience a big energy increase from semen retention alone. Once again, just in case you didn't realize it, the quitting of porn is actually the biggest reason why most guys feel strong NoFap benefits, not from the semen retention in and of itself, although there may be some exceptions to that. Reason number 5, you're depressed. Yes, this is something I have seen from time to time with my online clients. It is possible to build long NoFap streaks but still be depressed, and that's because there are so many contributing factors behind depression in life. I mean, you all probably know that there is not just one single cause behind all depressions. And if you're depressed, then you're obviously not going to be seeing and celebrating the strongest NoFap benefits either. Reason number 6, you're eating too much junk food. Yes, this can be an issue. Studies on both humans and animals show that overeating junk can really mess with your dopamine receptors. In fact, today's processed food is often created with dopamine in mind. A specific fat to sugar ratio in combination with spices is used to create a so-called bliss point. And this is to give you the highest possible amount of dopamine in terms of eating food. Now, if you go for natural, whole foods, this won't be an issue, just as long as you don't overeat to really dangerous amounts. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a treat every once in a while if you want to feel the NoFap benefits, because you certainly can. But I am saying that if you know that your eating habits is an area that could be improved upon and you don't feel great, it's definitely something for you to consider. Reason number 7, you're using porn substitutes. If you've given up porn, but you still use so-called porn substitutes, then it's a big possibility it's holding you back. Porn substitutes are things that turn you on, at least a bit, that mimic your old porn behavior online. Clicking, searching, following, chasing. For example, scrolling on Instagram hot babes. Click, chase, click, chase. Fitness babes on YouTube, same thing. Swiping on Tinder for hours at end, only to draw lust from the pictures instead of looking for a potential date. If you're unsure about this, just ask yourself, am I turning myself on in an artificial way? If the answer is yes, it's a porn substitute and it can hold you back. Especially if you're trying to overcome porn addiction or porn-induced sexual problems such as PIED. And speaking of noticing benefits during your NoFap journey, there is probably nothing that can heighten and amplify the benefits as much as doing a dopamine fast. And I'm speaking from experience here. If you've been curious about dopamine fasting for a long time now, but never really know how to structure a decent fast, you can read about my dopamine-focused fasting course by using the link below. And oh hey guys, speaking of benefits or lack thereof, have you seen my video where I share exactly why the flatline happens and why you can fall back into the flatline later on several times? No? Well, if not, take a look at the video you see on the screen right here and you will discover all about what's going on right there. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today, and as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself. And remember, like Winston Churchill used to say, if you're going through hell, keep going.